Doesn't happen now. All right, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Thanks for checking in. Before we jump in our usual scheduling of looking at charts, I'm kind of just going to go over the newest addition to the indicator here, which is the Bollinger Band Squeeze. You can find the new update as V3.0. So look for that. It should be right here. Sometimes you have to remove the app and then go back in the indicators and load it or refresh your browser if it hasn't updated already. TradingView can be a little glitchy. For you guys who don't know, the settings button is right here. You click that and you can find the Bollinger squeeze settings down here underneath premium squeeze. So you could turn it on and off if you wanted to. The default is on, I believe. You can change the length, which is just the moving average in the center. That's what that middle line is. You can use 5 for scalps. And you'll see here how it completely changes. Well, now it's all in squeeze. I think I have to adjust the other setting, which is
Yo, Cash.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you remember to record the actual stream today?
Yeah, I had just said that.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, that was quite the moment for me yesterday.
It's okay. We've all been there.
I'm gonna have to fix this later. But anyway, you can change the colors right here, and everything else too that you can turn off as well. Like if you wanted to turn off the fib levels, you just press this button. If you wanted to turn off the liquidity or turn it on, you just press this. You can change those colors. Market structure length. We talk about that a lot in breakup structure. Has these lines too. Let me turn off the other stuff so it's easy to see. I haven't really gone through this whole thing. Why aren't you turning off? Oh, I think I need to update the code mod. I must have done something wrong.
Oh no.
Well, I can't show you what I'm trying to show you. I'm gonna fix that after this. Anyway, like I said, the settings are all in here. You can change majority of the colors. You can turn everything on and off. So you can set this up any way you like. And each one has different settings. I like everything at default, but that doesn't mean it's the only way. So anyway, there's a couple ways you can play this. There's the squeeze way, and then there's Papa's way. I'll explain the squeeze way, and then I'll let Papa explain his way. Basically, the squeeze, as you can see, are when these Bollinger bands are close to this middle band. There's also another rule that's tied into this about Keltner channels, but essentially, once they come together, it's going to have a big move in one direction, in theory. So what you need to do is you need to wait for the one candle that closes outside where it doesn't have a color anymore. And once you see that, then you can enter in and go whatever direction you want. The reason why you wait is because you can get stuck in periods of low volatility like this one. Like if you had entered in here, you'd be waiting a while. So you really just want to wait for that outside squeeze. The only thing I want to say is with the squeeze is that sometimes there's some fake outs. So just be careful. You can pair it with, a MACD or the momentum oscillator or anything else really to help you identify.
I like to pair it with like a moving average and RSI.
Yeah, perfect.
But yeah, to Cash's point, like how I usually leverage these is you'll see. So like, it's kind of hard to not have my mouse doing it, but a lot of those inflection points off the bottom, like you could see off of, like, let's say the bottom Bollinger Band. A lot of the times you'll see a wick at the bottom or the top of the candle, and then it'll instantly change direction. And you'll have to wait for confirmation for like 1 or 2 candles to close. But once you get a green candle, let's say off the bottom of a candle, or the bottom of the Bollinger Band, or let's say like the middle Bollinger Band, that'll usually indicate which direction you're headed, in a bullish or bearish direction. So like, let's see.
Right here.
If you see it like the very, like exactly, you'll see it wick off, and that usually indicates change in direction. And that fat green candle is an indication that you probably want to jump into calls. Again, though, you usually what you'll want to do for confirmation is once it changes direction in the bottom Bollinger Band or even the top, usually, and that's not, there must have been news or something like that at that point in time, usually you'll retest the middle Bollinger Band, and you'll wait to see confirmation with a close of a candle above. So that, like, where that purple bar is, go slide to the left a little bit. Yeah. So like, you'll see, it retested the bottom Bollinger Band. You got that huge green candle wick, right? So that means at one point the price was below the bottom Bollinger Band, but the bulls came in and ate up all the volume, and it retested instantly to the top of, or the middle Bollinger Band. And the next candle, right, tested to break below, but went above. So that would indicate that you're about to rip. And if you could see, the share price just absolutely channeled and rocketed in a bullish direction. So that's usually how I use it. And then again, that's perfect. Like, you could see it reached the top of the Bollinger Band with like a very shallow red candle. Then you go and you and then you consolidate and retest that middle Bollinger line. So once again, you see that red Bollinger line, or red candle, basically touched the middle Bollinger Band and then jumped up again. So it usually, unless news breaks where you'll like FOMC, or there's like some type of like earnings play or anything like that, usually if you're trying to scalp midday, it's a great strategy to use, and that's normally what I do.
So do you ever like look at or consider like the middle, like the slope of the middle line, the middle Bollinger Band?
Yeah, that usually, like, a lot of times the the share price will consolidate between the middle Bollinger Band and either the top or the bottom, and will consolidate and try to move up or down. Mm-hmm. So yes, you absolutely would want to consider the slope of the middle Bollinger Band.
Yeah, and
so essentially, if you hit the bottom and then you assume, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, just to clarify, the middle Bollinger Band is just a moving average to whatever setting you have it on.
Yeah.
So it's a 20 moving average.
Yeah.
I see. So so as an example, so like if we hit the bottom of the band and the slope is, I guess, decreasing from left to right, going down, we would not enter. Would we enter calls in that particular scenario?
You would want to, when it slopes down, you would want to wait till it hits that bottom Bollinger Band again, because it's going to retest it. So as you can see, it broke outside of it, but then there was huge bull volume, as you can see on the bottom volume indicator, that broke it back inside.
Mm-hmm.
And when you could, so I mean, if you're feeling like a degen mode, once it gets back inside, you could enter. But a really good and safe way, and one that I would probably have you guys practice more so, is once it crosses and closes a candle above that middle Bollinger Band, because that would indicate a momentum shift in the price.
Okay.
And you guys can also use volume with a 21 moving average on it. And you've got confirmation candles once it goes over the average, and anything underneath you can kind of ignore. Just on like breakouts and stuff, like this one right here that was outside the band. You can see all the volume that stepped in.
Exactly. And honestly, it's with the Bollinger Bands, it's also kind of just easy to formulate and draw out some wedges for yourself. Like a lot of the times, you could probably you'll see the wick at like the top or bottom of the Bollinger Band, and you could use that as your starting point for a new trend line. And if it breaks above, you know you got to enter. If it breaks below, you know to get out.
Like this one here, you mean?
Yep. So say if that was like midday instead of ending the day, right? You would be able to draw a Bollinger. You would be able to start your new trend line, and be able to kind of wedge yourself in and out of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So let's say, right, it's not just a retest of that middle Bollinger Band, which could be still bullish if the moving average is still sloping upward.
Mm-hmm.
But if it breaks below, then you're going to want to get out.
Right. Yep. Good stuff. So yeah, I mean it's this is pretty basic. I want to say.
Yeah. And Martyr, you absolutely can add a new moving average, and that's exactly what I do. Because then you could sometimes you could play where, like, let's say a 5-day moving average crosses over with a 20-day moving average. That will, depending on which way it crosses, can also indicate bearish or bullish momentum as well.
Yep. So that's pretty much it. Basically, some of these other ones you could consider squeezes too, but the purple is a mathematical high probability squeeze invented by John Bollinger himself. So it's the actual definition, and that's why you'll see some that aren't colored purple, just because it doesn't meet that qualification. But it's never a perfect system, just in case somebody was wondering. Okay. Are there any questions about this before we move on?
I had one question. The exits that we were talking about, we're talking about those exits in case somebody is in and want to come out. But when we are looking at it, we are still looking at that 3-point premium wedge plus this, right?
Yeah.
This is a nice
that's a good way to use it, I think. Like here's a good example. We kind of have a wedge going on here, or a trend line anyway. It breaks. It broke a little early up here, but still, it forced its way all the way down. It was a big move. Let me see if I can find one that's more. I'll go down to 10 minutes so I can look. Find one that's closer. Just looking first glance here.
Okay. There we go. That's so much better. These scarves, put them inside the button of the stab. No.
Yeah, here's kind of one. You're just gonna have higher quality setups when you have more things combined. That's all. So, like here's one. Let me move this down. And you got this wedge right here with the squeeze, and then it lets go at the same time. You kind of got another one here. It's more of a horizontal one. This is another box one. So it's just like you can combine it with what you see, and then use your horizontal lines or your trend lines. Then you can go back to our fib rule and try to get the 162%, or you can just use the fib levels that are in here, and then adjust the pivot point to whatever market structure point you're targeting. So it's up to you if you want to do it manually or not.
Okay.
But just looking at these right here, I mean, you can 162. That actually went 200%. We just did that one. And this is a pretty good method too, just for targeting the fib levels. There's another one. Oops, this one's already set up. 162%. Let me see if I can find it out. Let's do the other way. $162%. I don't think that one would have worked. This is one of those fake out ones. 162%. I think you guys are getting the point now. 162%. It just happens everywhere. All right. I don't want to beat a dead horse. Any other questions before we move on?
Hey, one question I had, Cash, the SPY today towards FOMC and later on, is that natural candles like those tall ones?
Where?
Are they
These
like
ones?
today? Yeah, like they had like some towards FOMC. They had like these massive candles up and down, right?
Or this one?
I think they're looking at 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes or something.
These ones?
Yeah,
This is from FOMC.
yeah.
So this is like market moving event volatility. So no,
So
it's
this
not.
is
So it's not that
excludes
common.
that premium wedge, right?
No, you could still use it.
Okay. So let's say if I had a premium wedge towards that, will it kind of screw the premium wedge setup or something?
No, it's always just by the candlestick shapes. So you have your wedge right here, 1, 2, 3 points, breaks out, retests, and fires up. Here I can turn this off so we can see it.
Okay, got it.
See right there. I mean, it's not a perfect 3-point because there's not a lot of slopes here. But this is a trend line. It breaks above. It does retest it. So obviously the market's paying attention to it and it has this big green candle. You can see how our volume's closing above the moving average every single time. So I would consider this a high quality setup.
Okay, got it.
Oops, went a little bit further. There we go.
So I joined about 5 minutes late. Apologies. Quick question. So earlier during the day, you mentioned that we have to wait until like the candle closes outside of the squeeze zone.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So why I'm saying that is because you can see how the length of the purple changes. As we go along. There are multiple different sizes here. So you don't want to be buying and sitting in this and just waiting and getting destroyed by theta. And the squeeze doesn't technically release until the one candle outside. And your question actually just gave me an idea to show you guys. This is somebody else's. GTM squeeze. Maybe this is on. Okay, maybe this is not. Maybe it's only on Weeble. Never mind. Anyway, but yeah, it's the one candle that closes outside of it because you don't know how long this purple's going to last.
Are there any exceptions to the rule?
For the squeeze, no.
Okay.
Nope. So you just gotta wait till the color goes away, because you can see it's trapped in volatility. Because that's what a squeeze on a Bollinger Band is. It's just low volatility, and convergence leads to divergence. So you don't want to be buying and being stuck in here. You want to be buying once it diverges out. Make sense?
Yeah. Standard deviation of the price difference, essentially the movement.
Yeah.
Or the mean rate.
Yep. Okay. What do we want to start with today? You got any ideas there, Papa?
Oh my God, no.
Can we look at JD? What happened to JD?
Yeah, let's do it.
Like, what can we learn from that?
Don't buy Chinese stocks.
Yeah, that's a It's a good starting point, especially when
Yeah.
it's 9:29 and it's up a point and a half, and then instantly opens up down a point.
Oh, is that what
I think
happened?
that's probably. Yeah.
I have been avoiding Chinese stocks for the last 2 months, and everybody in after hours is like, "Yeah, it's going up." And today I decided to buy, and it goes the other way.
Classic. That always happens to me.
Are you
too.
still in?
No, well, no, I'm out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I was out as like 80-some%. I mean, it's pretty much zero. It's gone.
So this was this morning.
What was your expiration?
Same as you. I just kind of was thinking I'll get out, and then I completely kind of forgot to get out.
Well, looking at the, I mean, this is what. Okay, where are we at today? Today's the 19th, right?
Yeah.
So this is today. Yeah, it opens up and it just dies. Like,
Instantly. Yeah, instantly.
It pulled a meta. Did I say it right this
Yeah.
time?
You did. I'm so proud of you. But it is wedging right now. I have the exact same. I'm literally pulled up on my trading view on my desktop. It is a wedge right now.
Indeed.
Yeah,
And it's up, I think. I mean, unless we get fucked again, I think it's like a half of a point right now.
should have held it.
You can see it was squeezing, but it's squeezing down here too. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it could go either way.
It certainly could.
So
Yeah, I really like the setup going into close yesterday because it kind of had the same setup it had at the end of the day today, where it was squeezing and looked like it could break above. So it really is going to be completely determinant on how we open up tomorrow. And I figured my exit, so I was down, I think, at one point like 30%, and I somehow am now only down a little bit.
this is why I think it nuked. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it did for whatever reason, but it broke the trend line. And like you said, it happened within 10 minutes of open, so even faster. I mean, not much you can do about that, really.
So that's a market event essentially, right? That's something out of control, right?
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, exactly. There's just going to be anomalies where things just don't work.
Right.
We are betting against the house.
No, we are, but there's no crying in the casino.
Yeah, true that. Not in premium casino. Let's go, baby. We had a good day today.
Yeah, we did. Needed a bounce back.
Finally. Praise baby Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Someone give me something good. Who's found some wedges or any other setups or
We should look at Exxon just because we've been fucking. I know some people played it today off of the watch list last night, but it looked beautiful for the majority of the day.
Ooh, remember that we had marked this out? That does look nice.
I know it did look like it failed right outside of that FPG though on the top, that bearish FPG.
Yeah. Very nice. How much? It broke out of this though, which is usually a pretty good sign. You guys gotta mute yourself if you're not talking.
I think it might be rocks. I'll just mute them for now.
So you said it broke out of this. Like I see the drawing. What exactly are you talking about? Like what's the science behind this?
So this is usually a bearish wedge, a rising wedge, which is usually bearish. Whenever you have bearish setups that break out to the upside, it's a pretty good signal that things are going to keep moving up. Obviously,
when you said bearish wedge, as in it's going up or going to come down, why is it called bearish wedge?
Because it's it's moving up and consolidating into a corner on the upside. So usually these setups have a tendency to break down.
To come down, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you always gotta wait for the candle to close. You don't ever predict. And once this closes above, it's usually a good indicator. It's going to keep moving. as you can see, it's retesting it. So if it comes back down, then that might be a sign that it's going to drop. But if it holds this level, you probably want to get calls on something like this. But we'll see. This is also like Papa pointed out. It's a big fair value gap.
Yeah, I mean it is also down after there was a ton of selling. It looks like in the last 10 minutes of market being open today, and it's also down more than a point after hours. So that it could have rejected.
Yes.
You might want to retest that long setup there.
Yeah.
So for clarity, once it breaks above the top trend line and it closes the candle, it becomes then a bull
Correct
scenario, right? It's no longer bearish. Okay.
Yes. When any pattern, bullish or bearish, fails, it's always going to move big time to the other side.
Correct.
I see.
I mean, if you were to even pull up, if you wanted to pull up Bollinger Bands and even show people, maybe you could probably see it just pinning off of the top and bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And then consolidating. Yeah.
Got one of them rejects.
Mm-hmm.
I do like how the RSI looks, though, gotta say. I definitely would be buying dips on this one. It's still squeezing outside of this, or just let go recently. I really wish I could find that other indicator I'm thinking of. It's called TTM Squeeze. You can find it on Webull. I think there's one in here, and I'll post it later. But basically, it is a line moving average, I guess, of the squeeze, and it helps recognize when it fires and stuff. If I can't find it, I'll just make one. But anyway, continue.
So if I wasn't aware of that trend line break or the premium wedge, I was just paying attention to the Bollinger Band and squeeze. And since it hit the top envelope, I probably would have purchased a put.
Yeah, that's why you wait for candles to close, because if it wicks off the top Bollinger Band, right, before the candle closes, right, it can look like it's trying to exit the Bollinger Band and trade above it. But if that candle closes below, it wicks the top and then heads back down, then that would indicate that you're getting a price reverse.
Yeah, and
then it would most likely either consolidate until that moving average moves up and meet there and retest, or it's just going to immediately change course and go to that bottom and see if it would see if it goes below or back up. So that's why that moving average, that middle Bollinger line is so important, because it really could indicate either just stay retest or a complete reversal.
Yeah, and I think by technical definition, you'd want to probably wait for this low to be broken on the reject.
Yeah. And that's what you see, that green wick at the top?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's at the top of the Bollinger Band in the FEG. So the Bollinger Band does not lie, right? That's why it's down 1%. It rejected into that FEG, and then it's probably going to go back and retest that middle Bollinger Band tomorrow, see how we open. If it bounces off of it, then calls could certainly be a play. But if it goes back down, then you might see it back at what is it? Can you scroll out, or
yeah.
I just want to see where the bottom of the Bollinger Band is sitting. So it'll obviously, that bottom of the Bollinger Band is going to come up maybe to 113-ish, 112,
probably.
We're in that area. So it's either going to retest that middle, or it's going to go straight to the bottom, and then you'll know.
Yeah, it'll probably come right here.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why you gotta be patient with plays.
I'll leave that there, and we'll see tomorrow if it works out that way. Look, squeeze me. Shoots up.
All right, my friends. I know you guys are. Oh, there we go. I was just gonna ask. Hello, Polito is way ahead of me. Probably an Italian guy. Google.
We're at the Google. what do we got going on here? Let me zoom out. So we broke below this. I think we've talked about it a few times. Theoretically, we're looking for rejects to go short by definition, but if the market reverses and you get a close above here, you can probably target this gap and then a push up. It's got a lot of volume today. It's over that. But it did reject that level. And that's kind of how we saw the put play on Meta earlier today, too.
Just when I think you're going to get it.
What's up? Oh, yeah, shit.
Just when I...
Oh, man. All right.
Mm.
Oh, God, what happened? We lost it. Give me a second here. What is going on with my life?
I think you can do a Control Z. Okay.
Yep. Yes, sir. All right. Anyway, we need to get over this this horizontal level up above, and also this red trend line above to be bullish. So to clarify, you need a daily close or a weekly close somewhere in there or above. Otherwise, you're looking for puts, right? Don't you? Would you agree, Mr. Papa?
I would absolutely agree.
Let's see if we
Did
got.
I lose you?
Yeah, you're good. I'm listening.
No, I didn't. Okay.
Here's your wick example, though. Here's a good one.
Yeah. You could, if you were to scroll all the way out to where the high point is 176.98. I did draw a trend line.
Okay.
Oops.
176.98. Let me turn this off.
I don't understand. I don't know why my shit's all different than yours.
176.40.
Oh yeah.
This one, 176.
Can you make it so there's more candles? By any chance?
Yeah. So
like, do you have? What are you on? There you go. Something like that.
this one.
Yeah. You pin it. So it's on Friday, March 7th was the high.
Yeah, right here.
Somewhere right there, exactly. So that's where that trend line I also have is.
Okay.
It technically, that trend line for me, at least what I'm looking at on TradingView, broke above on Wednesday. Is it after hours?
Yeah, you're looking at after hours. You can change it down here. Just for anybody who doesn't know, you got to go this little corner button session, and you can change to extended.
No, it's regular trading hours. I don't know why it says fucking 18 hours. 19?
I don't know. It's in UTC. It's in UTC, so universal.
At 18 hours, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, so it's you just subtract 12, I believe, is the rule, and that'll tell you what it is in a 12-hour time.
I don't fucking know. I can't do
that. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I agree. I think we still need to see the close above here, but it's definitely an area to watch. Maybe would they even fill this gap in the this week? We do have OPEX, so that could be really good or really bad. I don't know if anybody's checked the flow yet. I have not. That might be a good sign of what's to come. So we just got to play the way, which way comes our way. Someone called out RIVM.
Rivian?
Yes, the anti-Tesla.
American Tesla without FSD.
When I say check the flow, that means the option flow, the net premiums, or the volume per contract. You can find that.
We have a little ball.
You can find that in the Whales bot in the Discord.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm on.
It is. Looks like it's wedging out though too.
Yeah, let me.
But it is resting, at least for me, on the bottom Bollinger line. So let's see how that plays out. But it probably is. If I'm not even looking at your screen right now, but is it squeezing? It's got purple squeeze on.
On the daily or which time frame?
I would probably say daily. That would make most sense.
I don't see it on the daily yet. Or we can check some of the other ones. Though.
No, I'm probably just. I don't even know what fucking time frame am I looking at.
It's in the top left. You see up here on my screen. Where the to the right of the
mine looks a
ticker.
little different than yours.
Oh, yeah, that's because
mine's on like the bottom left.
That's because you gotta. That's because you have to hit favorites to which ones you like.
For this particular time frame, the Bollinger Band where it's squeezing at, you see those 3 bands. Does the band become invalidated then since it's so small? Or I guess, is there a rule for how many handles within a band in order for it to be valid?
For the squeeze, you mean?
Yeah.
No, it has nothing to do with the amount of candles. It's relative to the Keltner channels and the Bollinger Band channels and their respect to each other, which were all standard deviations of price.
What?
It's not a specific number.
A lot of the times, though, like let's say if he draws a trend line, you'll hear us say like triple touches a trend line a lot.
Yeah.
That usually so if that comes back up and touches for a third time, it might actually break out.
You don't need to overthink it. The only thing that matters is that you take the candle when there's no more purple. That's it. No more.
None of it.
Anyway, yeah, okay, so you wanted to talk about RIVN. Are you looking at this short term? I mean, short term, I mean, it's not great. It's rejecting this level. It looks to me like it's probably going to come back down to 1067-ish and maybe test this area somewhere over here. And then maybe you'll have another bounce out of here and you'll go up, or it's going to close outside here and go down. So, but it's had a couple rejects in this area. You can see all the wicks. Not a lot of volume on here on the reversal. It's not passing the moving average. You know, that's not really a strong indication that something's happening, which is what you want to see, by the way, when you're creating pivot points. You can see there's a ton of volume here, ton of volume here, ton of volume here. We're not seeing that here. So it's probably going to come back down. It's my educated guess. Unless the whole market just gaps up tomorrow and it follows it, which, you know, could happen. How's the aftermarket or overnight market doing right now? Has anybody looked?
Tesla's up almost 2.5.
Jeez.
Cooked.
Cooked out, huh?
I think so.
Oh no. I have one that I want to pull up. Oh yeah, somebody asked for AMD. I'm gonna do that. Thanks for reminding me, Yazoo. Is that how I say your name? Yazoo. Because I would have forgotten. Okay. Yeah, futures are ripping, man.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe ripping. So, I mean, I don't know if we can call this a wedge yet. Maybe more like this one. I like this one. Yeah, that's better. Looks like we're trying to break out of this wedge. You know, it's had this long support, finally hit the bottom. I mean, if you get a big candle close outside of this, you can try to go long. I feel like this really needs to have like, it needs to like break up, and then it needs to come down, and then it needs to go back up to like actually have a reversal. Like you can see, not you can still play this for a day trade, but you can see like on this it had 2 pivot points on a reversal. You know, this one kind of did, even though it was a little bit further up. This one had 2. This one had 2. 2. Like there's usually get 2 or 3 that make like a base. As we go back, you can see all of them. It's rarely ever just one, especially on a long downtrend. So, you know, if this breaks to the upside, you could play calls, but I would, if you're trying to go long on this, and if you're buying shares, and if you're or buying long calls, you want to wait for another pivot point. GE is what I wanted to talk about. This is one that I brought up the other day, and I think we should probably watch this week because this is a bull flag, maybe, I think. And I think actually it needs 3 points, but we can play around with it here. Anyway, it's having a breakout regardless of what we want to call it. And I think it could push up to 227, 230 over the next few weeks. This is a 3-day candle. Let's step down to a daily. We need to see an increase in volume, though. And I think there's a fair value gap somewhere around here. Anyway, if you're looking for a calls to swing, this is one to watch. I'm not going to call it out because I'm sticking with the SPY for a little while. But you know, this is a wedge breakout. It's looking pretty good. Maybe we can check the flow on this one later. What do you think?
I wouldn't mind seeing it come back down to like 103, or sorry, 203.25.
So that would be like a retest. That would probably be like a retest then.
Yeah.
So like right here.
Yeah, because it did just like triple wick off the top for me. I mean, again, that could completely change of opening tomorrow.
Yeah, true. We did have a market moving event, but no, you are correct. I see it now on the 65, and I'm sure it's probably on the hourly too.
Mm-hmm.
So long a dip maybe, and if it breaks this low at 201.3, then get out because you know this pivot point is so far away, and we don't need another meta situation. All right. All right. Someone throw me a chart. What do you guys got? You guys are quiet tonight. Usually you're dumping like 40 tickers in the chat. What's going on here?
Amazon.
All right. What's going on here? All right. Oh yeah, we talked about this. The other day we said, you know, if it breaks a low and then it closes back above, it's probably going to push up. And I think, yeah, this was the, today's Wednesday, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So it closed around here then. Yeah, this is where it opened up. So on Tuesday morning, it opened up here and moved up. And then we saw a continuation. I think we should theoretically see a push and a potential close above that.
Yeah, I'm happy with my 18% today.
Nice. Yeah, that was great. I'm glad it came back for you. I was a little nervous when we had the SPY tanking. Not that I thought Amazon was going to tank, just the whole market in general.
No, it was like, I feel like it was lunchtime, just like lack of volume, and also most likely just people shitting their pants for FOMC.
Yeah, there's been a lot of
Because it was up like half a point, and then I went for a run, and I'm back like 30 minutes later, and it's breaks even, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's good.
yeah, classic. Yeah, it filled this gap too, so it's probably going to push up, and that's probably another one you want to play tomorrow. Once you get your.
I'm gonna pull it up on my handy dandy trading view because I had it drawn out pretty nice. Let's see what I see. Yeah, it broke out again on the daily. It looks like.
Yeah, had a nice. One thing is just not a lot of volume yet, but maybe it could just be because it was higher here, because people started buying.
Yeah, as soon as like the FOMC dip came, like it broke above. It went up to like 195.74.
Yeah.
And then the red candle closed below the top Bollinger Band. I was like, all right, it might retest the middle. And I was like, at that point, I'm up like 20%. I was like, I'm just going to take it. I was like, I could.
Makes sense. I feel like you could
just
see
get back in tomorrow if it's going to keep ripping.
I feel
or
like
find a new play.
I feel like you could see 204 by Friday if the market moves up, which is your middle Bollinger Band on the daily.
Yeah, I'm going to say above 196, like, do like 200s. 196, yeah.
All right. Are you good on this one? Do we want to keep? Do you want?
I'm good if.
Okay.
I got it.
Let's see. QCOM. All right. So we had a failed breakout here on the wedge. Or a rejection. Yeah, failed breakout slash rejection, if you will. And another one of Papa's infamous wicks outside the Bollinger Band. So this will probably test the middle one, and we'll just have to see where that goes. It'll still go back up after testing the middle, but that's probably an area.
I'm gonna check what it's doing after hours.
Got some big volume, and the RSI is moving in the bull range, though. So maybe this is a dip and rip scenario.
Let me see what she's doing tonight.
On the movement, is it? Would you say the proper or the magnet in this really is the center line? The bars want to be around center line, or is it really just an indication?
Yeah, so that's.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to gravitate and retest towards it.
Yeah, towards the center line, right?
Yeah,
yes, sir.
It's a zero line. So for like you nerds out there, math nerds, if you could think of it like a sine line or a cosine line, where like
Right.
Your zero is your Bollinger Band, and everything on the bottom is your negative, and everything on the top is your positive. So that's like your middle band is just your neutral zone, and
right.
Price will navigate.
I mean, you could just. Yeah, I mean, you could just look at it right now and just see it ping pong.
Yeah.
In either direction, right? Like, if it fails to break above, it usually consolidates and goes back and retests below. And the second you get a wick below it, and then a green candle above, that's usually a sign of a reversal. And then again, so on and so forth for the top and inverse.
Thank you.
So yeah.
And obviously, I would say, I was gonna say the only like way that it usually does it is if there's like a market event, and then you'll see these like big gaps that just break trends.
This looks like it's gonna dip and rip, though. I mean,
up and handle, yeah.
Yeah, it's got this range. You kind of got this fair value gap down here, so maybe it pulls back down to here, test this little cup we got going on. That would seem likely to me. And then we explode up. And I'm really scrubbing the magic crystal ball here.
Yeah.
With their
It's up like 0.5% right now after hours. That
Yeah.
matters for anything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
But there was a crazy wick all the way up to 160 today.
Yeah. Well, we might see a retest all the way up here. Sometimes they go like 75%. And then 4. So, I don't know.
What do we know?
You know SPY. All right. All right. Actually, looking at this now, it kind of looks like it's got like a inverse head and shoulders going on here. We got, your left shoulder's there, your head right there, and your right one right there. So maybe, just maybe, it'll fire up.
Fire up. Fire me up, bub.
Which would be if the bull market returned, you'd be looking at a 172 target over like 6 to 8 weeks. And it's got this big bearish fair to value gap right there too.
I mean, kind of, if you do go back to like February 21st, where it was at that like 176 mark, it does kind of look like you said, an inverse head and shoulders. Almost, I mean, it didn't get all the way back up, but it kind of also does look like a cup and handle, like very smallly pronounced.
Yeah. And then also it looks kind of like a wedge with a breakout and a retest too. So maybe this one explodes.
Maybe, just maybe. I would say above, what is it at? Or what did it close at? 158? I would say above 160.59, get like maybe even like
you're spot on.
165 calls.
Yep.
Yeah,
technically, we want a big old daily close above that, but you could intraday it for sure. But it looks good. I like it. And if you want to think even longer, if you want to talk like fall, say like we bounce back, you're probably looking at like a 195 level. I mean, chips aren't going away, right? So
anytime soon, at least.
I think it will have its vengeance, its redemption. All right, what's next on the list? We got ACHR. They had the recent PLTR news. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah.
And I think we talked about this yesterday. It had the wedge breakout. I think this was, this is Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday. Not much going on today. It looks like it just consolidated, which makes sense. So yeah, you're probably going to target this level over here, all the way up to $9.90, $10 soon. Maybe it comes down and makes a lower high first. It is in the upper Bollinger Band, and it's squeezing on the 65. So maybe it goes up. We will see. It's got, it looks good actually. We've got a volume RSI.
Actually, it looks really good.
Yeah, we got the higher volume on moving average, and we got the squeeze, and we already have the fib set up. Look at that. Did all the work for us. So theoretically, short term, like maybe tomorrow, we could see 875 to 880. So keep your eye on that. If you want to be smart, you wait for a candle close or for the purple to disappear before entering. So we could say enter on candle close. And your stop is always your 0. This is how I would play it.
Mm-hmm.
Looks good. Wow, we've had 2 good setups back to back. I don't think we've seen that in like 3 weeks. It's been
Oh my
absolutely.
god, are we back, chat?
I think we might be
Chat,
back.
are we back? Look at Sam doing the Lord's work. Yo, I don't even want to look at Tesla. Oh, don't do it to me.
Sorry,
Don't
man.
fucking do it.
Is it time to reset my mess here? Or do I leave it?
I don't know. I was kind of happy it rejected 240 today, but it almost gave up all of the gains from FOMC, but now it's up like 2.5.
I'm surprised you. I'm
After
surprised you
hours.
held, because when you said, not to like kick you when you're down here, because I make my mistakes too, but
No, it's okay.
you said you were gonna
Just money, I can get it back.
You were gonna sell above here. I thought.
230.
Yeah.
Yeah, it fucking gapped up on me.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, I could have and should have probably gotten out then, but
Yeah, I get it. I probably would have done something similar. If I'm being honest.
like it literally like gapped all the way up to like 250. So I was like, I did say 230, but I also was looking at that 240 mark as the next test. So, but now we are up after hours too. Oh my god, I hate my life.
The gap fill.
What is that? It's at 241.40. So
Yeah, because we had discussed that this could have been a possible lower high. Hopefully, well, I guess I don't want to say hopefully the whole market tanks, but hopefully Tesla tanks. Let's see if
my only hope, my last shining star of redemption for Tesla is I believe I think it's next week they have March delivery, and people are dooming.
Are you gonna diamond hand it?
We'll see if it opens up above or below that 240 mark.
Yeah, I mean it did have this failed rejection, so if it opens above it, your lights out, probably going up to 250s and fill this gap.
Yep.
This is our death. So we'll see. Could go either way. All right, thanks for the consolidated list. Let's check out Hood. Hood's another one that's just been absolutely tearing cheeks.
It's fucking crazy.
All right, so
all these like gross, these like name brand gross stocks just move like fucking penny stocks these days. It's crazy.
It is crazy. Probably great for like far out the money contracts if you can time it right. They probably move like 500%. Like if you just sat on a squeeze on like the 5 minute for something like Hood, look at these moves. Massive. You get the point.
I do.
Anyway, Hood, yeah. So let's see what we got here. We had this big support level. That's our SR flip. Back in a few weeks ago, we said if it closed below or broke below, it would be puts. As you can see, it had this big old devil dick of a candle, and now it's moving up and retesting this support level. So you have to watch this. This is a possible rejection area. So if the market turns down, you could get puts on this. But if it gets any candles that close above this horizontal level, you're probably going to see a massive push up because this is such a huge range. It was a really important level to break over. We do have a lot of.
Can you give me that
volume?
Can you give me that level? Because I want to call calls or puts for either.
Yeah, we got 43.83.
And
that's the number to watch.
And where is that level coming from, Cash?
Yes.
What is it joining?
the previous all-time high. So
Okay, got it.
those are always big time resistance levels. And you can just
43.83.
yeah, you can see all the volume around here too, around this level. Ton of it in here. Anyway, so yeah, you can either reject or it's going to explode after. And you can see actually, and this will probably line up tomorrow almost perfectly, that the middle Bollinger Band on the daily is actually lining up with that. So I get some like double whammy action. Yeah, 6 sigma. It is a massive one.
Insane.
So yeah, I could go either way. What do we got with hymns?
Damn. Didn't really
Same thing.
do much. No.
Same.
What did it finish up to that?
Yeah, not as big of a move. Actually, no, 8% move, so pretty good. But
yeah, that's what 8% was.
All the growth stocks look like this, by the way. There's a bunch of them. BBAI and some more. All have this support resistance flip that it broke, and they're all retesting this level. So same thing applies. This one's 34.86. If it rejects that level, it'll be big time puts. If it closes above, it's probably going to explode up and target up to $40, which is where we also have a gap fill.
Can you give me that support line one more time?
Yep, 34.86.
Thank you.
I didn't listen to the FOMC. I remember Momo mentioning that it seemed like it was bullish. A few others mentioned that it might be bullish. And with the after hours movement, it might make sense to think that a lot of these are all going to move up and target this 40 level and whatever the hood level was that we called out.
I saw the summary. I didn't think it was bullish. I thought it was more like.
Oh, it was not?
They said it, the economy is strong, not going to cut interest rates. I think most of the people in Fed are in favor of one cut as opposed to multiple cut. I think few are in favor of no cut. And he said that tariffs will hurt the economy. He said recession potentially will go up. And he said that it's all transitionary. I thought it was not so bullish. That's just
that sounds
he did. I mean, he did put a number on the recession chances. He said it was between 1% and 4%.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, and he said all forward-looking, guidance was based and incorporated with tariffs in mind. But he also did say usually tariffs, and this is true for any fellow economist major. Tariffs are inflationary by nature. So I don't know though, because we get reports yesterday already where manufacturing indicators 3x expectations. So maybe there's some give and take. I don't know how much they'll cancel each other out, but of course they will certainly increase. And I mean, the Trump, you have to think the Trump administration is keeping that in mind, short-term inflation for long-term manufacturing output back in America. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, it might not necessarily be great for the economy in the short term or the market.
Yeah. I just felt bearish because I like eggs too much.
Well, hey, if you look at the egg prices, they're down 40% from highs or something.
Not in Seattle, they're not.
Well, okay, yeah, Seattle. Yeah, I mean, any big market, probably not gonna.
I'm getting tired of the Costco egg whites.
Oh, you're getting Costco egg whites?
Yeah.
Are you am I the only one seeing that session's disconnected?
Yeah, I can see too.
Yeah, it's sorry, I was trying to add somebody to the script.
All is well, my friend. All is well.
Okay, so anyway, back on this chart, SR flip, big level. Figure out, wait for your close, the usual. We can check out meta now, meta.
Metamucil.
I don't even want to look at this.
No, you have to.
Yeah, we looked at Tesla. Now it's my turn to have to be shamed. Care to shame. All right. If this comes back up and closes out here this week, I might crash out. But anyway, if it does, if it closes outside here, it's going to target that 630 level that I originally thought we'd be targeting. This is where I had gotten in. I think I had drawn trend lines on the smaller time frame, and maybe that was not the correct placement to do in hindsight now. But if the whole market moves up, this did. Well, actually, it did not. I was going to say I thought it had closed above the support level. It looks like it closed below. So you can see if this is going to close above, and if it does, it's going to target up to 640 probably by next week. If it doesn't, you're looking to break this level at 574. It is like at a fair. It did bounce off like a fair value gap though on the daily over here. So it's probably forming a bottom. If you're holding April calls, you're probably going to profit on them.
So you said something like for like hindsight. Did you guys do a post-mortem on the Facebook call that you took earlier in the week?
I think we did it yesterday, but we can go over it again right now. Let's see.
Bro, just dead name Facebook.
Yeah, this was quite okay. This is where it was. Let's see. We were right here. I think I had drawn my trend line maybe from here. I don't remember exactly. Either way, it looks like it failed to break out. We came all the way back down here. The previous pivot point was our stop loss. And, on, what was it, Monday, it had came down here and went back up. And my plan at that at the moment in time, and I added here, was a gap fill. And usually in a bull market, you won't see this level get broken. You'll see a gap fill and then push back up, especially on like a Mag 7 ticker like Meta. And it just completely, absolutely annihilated this market structure shift, or this actually breakup structure, within the first 15 minutes. Like it just completely shot down, and it was a cut as soon as we got below that level because it's making a lower low, and we don't hold onto calls when we're making lower lows, because theoretically this will still make lower lows. Our market structure shift on this isn't until we get above this level now. So the bulls aren't even signaled to go long until we close above here. And if you remember, our market structure shift is always from the previous pivot point of your lowest low or your highest high. So we're in bearish, so lowest low, previous pivot point. So really, longs are in dangerous territory right now until we get above this market structure shift. We can look at the Bollinger Bands because you said you're still holding some. And I'm still holding some 416s, but let's see.
My Bollinger, it rejected the top Bollinger twice.
Yeah, it rejected the middle one too. It's also got this Irish fair value right here. I don't love. It looked like today it was going to moon, and I was considering selling my soul, but
That's always good. We love that.
Anyway, sticking with the
Dude,
SPY for
that
a while.
red candle yesterday. That red candle is fucking nuts.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's disgusting.
A lot of these setups that I've been giving aren't bad. It's just that we're in such a bad downtrend that like I just completely got annihilated, and you know, just got to take it on the chin and stay humble and learn from it. And that's kind of why I'm putting myself in timeout for a little while and sticking to the SPY. You know, sometimes you got to recenter, get back to the basics, slow down. You know, write out your breakouts and everything else like I usually do, and just refocus. Anyway, yeah, so that's what happened. Not a good day for cash. Anybody else who followed me? Sorry about that.
Happens to the best of us, my friend.
It does indeed. Okay, FUBO. Is this the TV streaming?
Yeah.
How are they doing? Looks like they had a good earnings a while back, but it's still gapped down anyway. Is that just because the whole market was doo-doo? Huge earnings, 38%. Why did it break down? Oh, because it's still negative.
Probably. Well, it honestly, they could have just given like forward guidance based off the tariffs and been like, they probably revised it.
Yeah, true. Well, looks like it's got this big old wedge going on here. If you want to pretend that gap down didn't happen, do you think that's?
I mean, if we reject there, we're probably just going to backfill that entire gap up from the beginning of 2025.
It's down here.
148, Jesus.
We can
I wonder what Roku's doing.
We can come back to this in a few days and see what happens. But if you wanted to play on the long side, you're probably going to want to wait for a close above this gap and not this diagonal trend line, because usually when you fill gaps, they go the opposite direction sometimes. So if you're playing to the long side, you could look for like 540 over the next few weeks. And if you're playing to the downside, you're looking for 148. Okay, what do we got next? CELH?
A little Celsius?
This thing's just been mooning. Huge breakout. Both cheeks out. It's head to the moon.
We love.
$42 are probably in our scope over the next 2 months, just to like give it some space. Probably much shorter than that, but looks pretty good.
Do you think there's a long-term stock?
I do, yeah. I mean, just look at. I don't remember what their. This can't be right. There's no way they lost 200%. Right? I don't remember what this particular was, but their sales were incredible, and with the acquisition, I think there's a solid chance they catch up to Monster in sales. At least that's what the DD I read and said. I'm going off memory here, though. I think I posted it in my channel. I think this is probably going to see 40 over the next month or two. So it looks like it could be squeezing. We don't have the purple, but we got it on the 3-day. So next 4 weeks, probably going to $40. QBTS. I think we talked about this one yesterday too. Oh yeah,
Is that a quantum?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bob. Look at that, Bob. Nice trend line. Looks like it could break out.
I think so, mate.
14 doll hairs in the future, maybe?
14 of them things?
Yeah, I like this one. This is a good one. Maybe get it on the, maybe take it around like 10.80, $11. They're in talks to buy Popeye. What does that say? For $2 billion. I'm not sure if it already happened. Oh, that's not.
Talks to buy Popeyes. They just want to get in the fast food business.
Oh wait.
I kind of really like Celsius. Maybe I'll buy some calls. What is it doing after hours?
Which one?
I'm just looking at Celsius on my own. It's up half a point. Oh my god.
All right, so yeah, QBTS looks great. This is a really nice breakout. I'm not going to call it out though. Like I said, if Papa wants to, he can. But if you guys want to take this play, you're probably looking at like $14 over the next few weeks. 14 buckaroos. If you reject, you're probably looking at gap fill though, and coming down. So be careful. Wait for that candle close in this upper Bollinger Band range and this above this trend line. Don't get your cheeks clapped.
It's always good. Always good advice.
AFRM. I had AFRM for a little while. I sold it for like 40%. I think this can eventually move back up. Retest and pump. Retest and pump. Retest and pump. Yeah, it's probably gonna move up. We gotta wait and see. Yeah, it's still making lower lows on this trend line. I don't have much for this one yet. MSTR. Oh yeah, this is one that I do like a lot, and I know I've been talking about this for like a month, and last time got completely annihilated. But you know, it had this breakout. It did close above, came back down, had this little liquidity sweep, and then moved all the way back up, closed outside the trend line again, and then we got a retest, and now we're moving back up. So theoretically, we should be testing this first golden box up around 440, 450, and if you can bear with me here, I think we can see 750 to 1,000 if Bitcoin makes all-time highs again. I mean, this is your classic wedge pattern. So, you know, usually you're targeting 162 to 200%. So over the next 6 months, I could do one of these again, one of these big ones, and I think it will. I mean, it's been doing these big ass moves since $20, and it's it's priced according to how much Bitcoin they have and the price of Bitcoin. So if it goes to 120,000, 150,000, you can just do the math and calculate what the market cap should be, and then you can calculate what the share price can be from that. So it's really not that crazy. If Bitcoin goes as high as everybody claims it's going to go, it's going to be the most valuable company in the world. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's the idea behind MSTR. So, yeah, I think this is going to skyrocket. This is a great pattern, but the problem with MSTR is that it likes to consolidate for way too long. So this is something you want to buy shares on, not MSTU either. Just this. Just keep buying shares. This thing is gonna moon. They say third retest is usually where you can expect it to cross over. I'm like imagining hearing that in the past. Third retest is usually where you see a reject. So you don't need to worry about retest. You just need to worry about candles closing above.
Hey, Cash, if you think MSTR is going to go up that high, then what do you think of things like Mara and other folks who are also putting Bitcoin in their P&L?
Yeah, theoretically they should. And you could do the math, and I'm sure you could find a what's the word I'm looking for? A way to profit off of it, but or arbitrage is what I'm looking for. But they don't move as well as like MSTR and IBIT. Ever since those came around and played, these have kind of died. I mean, it is in this half week fair value gap, but I don't think these are the plays to put your money into personally. I feel like miners are kind of dead. Oh, someone's got to. Whoever's singing, please mute yourself. This wired beast. All right, that's a great melody, but we're.
So, because MSTR also has kind of the largest Bitcoin reserve, right? I mean, everybody else is putting some, but I think MSTR has the most in their P&L.
Yeah, and we can go to and find out.
Oh, wow. Okay. Jeez.
He has 43 billion. Where does it say how many coins? Hold on. It says everything we need. He's got 130 billion Bitcoin. That can't be correct. Where's the number? This is his website, I'm pretty sure. So. I don't know where it is. About 500K. Oh, it's at the top.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, 500,000.
So yeah, I mean, you could just do the math. You know, if Bitcoin goes to 200,000, what is that? Like a 400 billion market cap, and what's the market cap right now? So it's 79. So 4x just from here, or almost 5x just from here. You know, that puts us at 1,500 if Bitcoin goes to 200,000. So it's not as crazy as I make it seem. And with this setup, if you watch Bitcoin and you think Bitcoin's going to break out big, you know, you have a potential to make 4 or 5x here over the next, year or two. So definitely something you should be buying shares on. It's kind of a bitch for calls, honestly. I wouldn't waste your time unless you're just doing like intraday. And I'd be careful with any leveraged as well, just because you have decay. But I think this is something that everybody should be buying. At least I am. So we'll see what happens.
Thank you.
What do we got next on the list?
QQQ and ACN.
Okay. QQQ. And I probably got to sign off. I need to get some sleep tonight. Let's see. We had this big old trend line. Yikes. Yeah, let me fix this though. I don't love this. We got this big trend line, close below it, hit this fair value gap on the 3-day, and then we've seemed to bounce out of it. Wish I saw this last week. We bounced out of it, And now we yesterday we retested this trend line and rejected, and now we move back up and we're sort of testing and rejecting it again. We need to see tomorrow what happens. If it keeps rejecting this, it's probably going to move back down into this fair value gap. So keep an eye on that. And bulls want to see a close back above here, just like how we saw with Google and Amazon, which makes sense. That's something similar. You also have a little trend line here. So bears want to see a close somewhere out of this, somewhere down there, or you would push down like this. If it rejects this level, it's probably going to make a big move down to like 458. It's at 480 right now, so just be careful. But we'll see. We will see what happens. Squeezing on the 65, but it wicked the top. We are moving in after hours, I believe, so we'll see. We just gotta wait and see. So this trend line's a big deal. This is a really, really big deal. We really want to see a weekly close, Friday close, to just close back in here. And actually, looking at this right now, and Pop, I don't know if you're still here.
I am.
Looks like we're squeezing out of this weekly. But we did.
Does not surprise me.
This weekly Bollinger here. So you know that I think what the rule is, and I gotta look it back up. But usually after a Bollinger squeeze, which is after the purple goes away, squeeze will last anywhere between 4 to 6 candles on average. And I'll back test that and figure that out. But you know, we might see 4 to 6 weeks of a potential downtrend. Who knows though? Something to keep in mind. And then PEP. All right, how did Nike earnings go? Did that happen yet? Did we check that out yet? Anyway, Pepsi daily squeezing in the lower Bollinger Band. Not hot. Not good. If you're a bull. Not good at all. It's probably going to squeeze down. It's probably going to test the same level down here because this was a double bottom. We'll see what happens. It looks like it could go down to 140. It could also just go down, wick, and then shoot the other direction. So be careful of that. 65 looks like it's trying to retest the trend line it broke, so maybe it gaps up tomorrow morning and then rejects. It did have a market structure shift. I guess I still have that turned on from the script. See how it automatically did that here. So, you know, that's usually your signal that this is going to be bearish. So we'll see what happens with that. And okay, Nike earnings for tomorrow night. All right, guys. I gotta wrap it up. It's 9:30 for me. I gotta sleep and go to bed till 4 a.m. So I'm gonna check out. Let's have another good day tomorrow. We're gonna watch the SPY. Papa's probably gonna crush some other stocks, and I'm sure Momo will help lock in some good SPY calls or puts too. So see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
We folks, let's get some more dubs.